The three of them packed up and moved out. Fran was Daz galloping once again, moving at the second brisk pace since he had tried to keep through their journey. Galloping was still harder work than flying, but now Daz needed to strain and stress. She felt spiritually drained, so she vomited up a meal and her stomach was empty. The work and sweat were welcome distractions, so for the ensuing hours she threw herself into the journey, mounting Applejack at the front. Her unreserved pony seriously avoided her eyes, staring straight ahead. Thoughts crept into Daz's mind despite her efforts. Is she still disappointed in me? She thought. She probably is. She probably doesn't think that was a good excuse. Bessie wanted to say I should suck it up and move on, but she couldn't. She tried sucking it up. She had tried forgetting about lightning. She tried to tell herself she didn't need to learn to control it to remember Firefly. But every time she saw a thunderstorm, every time a bolt or sheet of lightning left the turbulent sky, all her memories and regrets poured back in. Maybe Firefly didn't need to learn lightning, but she needed it for herself. They stopped for lunch, and when the sun was high in the sky, baking the golden fields, there was almost no breeze. The air was hot and still. Des had almost been blind to her surroundings, focused on the exertion swept up in her thoughts. So looking ahead of her, she saw the arc-back mountains, huge and solid, a dark empire of rock capped as jagged peaks by the white of snow. Beneath the mountain, a darker band, black with a hint of green, ran across the whole expanse of the horizon. With her Pegasus eyes, Des could begin to pick out a few well-defined individual trees. So, she spoke, her voice thick with the lack of use. I guess that's Simmerwood. You don't see the shimmer as much as from where I can see, Albrecht remarked. Rainbow, can you see much inside? Not yet, Das said. I can now just pick out a few trees. Well, keep an eye on it, the reserve pony told her. For what Lord Hammerhoof said, it just ain't gonna be a normal forest. She looked over her shoulder. Brady was lying on the ground, breathing hard, using her adjective to move the air around her into a faint breeze. Screwing up her withers, Elsek walked around Rainbow Taz until she faced her, looked her in the eye. Rainbow? Huh? Das said, catching her friend's eyes. The seriousness of Applejack's expression made Das's ears flatten. What? What's wrong? Rainbow? Ah! Applejack broke eye contact to force herself to resume it. Rainbow, I'm sorry. Oh, Das said softly. No, it's okay. No, I aren't, Applejack said. I didn't know about your flame with Firefly. I didn't know that lightning was so important to you. And even worse case, out. Some mouse crosses eyelid. No, seriously, the Sky Blue Pegasus said. I understand. I'm sorry I didn't mention how serious our journey was to Niles the first time. I should have, even if lightning is that important to me. I promise to mention it to him tonight. I promise, even if he tells me that he can't teach me. If he can't help me, then he can still help Twilight Sparkle. Glad to hear it, Applejack said. Jessie leaned her head close. A rainbow? She stared hard at Jess. Don't ever assume me or Rarity or any of us will understand what you're going through. Between me and her, and Twilight and Fluttershy and Blinky, one of us will always know where you're coming from. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I know what it's like to lose somebody important to you. Yeah, Jess whispered. If you ever want to talk about it, I'm almost ready, she said. Now come on, let's leave. The reserve party wandered towards the patch of tall grass and ripped off a chunk in her mouth. Das, feeling considerably less gloomy, joined her by her side. They ate in silence, but it was once more the comfortable silence they both so cherished. After allowing Rarity a bit more time to rest, the three of them resumed their journey. The sun traveled slowly across the sky. They heard Kalungus howl once in the distance, but the great lizards never showed themselves. The Shimmerwood crept closer and closer as they galloped. More and more, both the size of the forest as a whole and the size of its great leaves were apparent. The top of the canopy lowered itself out the ground, far taller than the Ponyfield's library highest branches. As evening began, they began to cross another small river. The sun sank low, and the Arkback Mountains now so dominated the horizon that before the sky was more than a faint orange, the sun was touching the peaks. The mountains turned black in the stark shadows. The sky grew more fiery, and the long shadow of the mountains muted the burning orange that so regularly characterized Glidedale's sunset. Rainbow Dash almost didn't realize the significance of the time. Oh! She exclaimed, suddenly remembering. We need to stop soon. Now it's set for me to be visible at sunset. Just a little bit further, Applejack called. Won't get us closer to the wood. Dash looked back ahead. She noticed something on the horizon. She wondered why it might not be another marker, signifying the western portion of Glidedale, like the eastern marker seen days earlier. It clearly proved to be nothing of the sort. Look! She cried. Up there! Dead ahead! Applejack and Rarity looked, though it was difficult for them to see. As soon as her horizon revealed a small speck, it grew larger as they approached. Soon they could clearly make it out. It was a tree. Let's head for it! Applejack cried, steering them towards the unusual sight. As he drew closer, they could see it more clearly. It was an oak tree, alone amidst the golden fields. Its fraying branches were thick, with wild green leaves of an early spring. The three ponies slowed to a trot. Applejack immediately scoured to the ground beneath the tree, turned to the light, and saw just what she was looking for. Bullhead! Dead branches! She exclaimed. We could have ourselves a real fire tonight. No more fast burning grass. So can we stop here, please? Prima Dash said, looking anxiously at the sky. It was a dark orange, rapidly darkening further to red. Yep, this is a great spot for camping tonight, Applejack said. We're close to Cedarwood. The wood was black in the shadow of the mountains, a dim cluster at the base of the jagged stone. I'll bet we could get there by mid-morning tomorrow. Oh yeah, great! Dash said swiftly, flapping her wings. Shooting to the sky, she flew more than 100 feet before slowing to a hover. She looked towards the west at the shining mountain peaks. She hoped there was enough light in the sky for Niles to see her. She didn't even know where he'd be coming from. She flapped her wings and rose a dozen feet more. She slowly spun around, scanning the ground for miles in every direction as he rotated. She didn't know how sharp his eyes were. The moon wasn't up yet, being past full and rising later. Could he see her? He hadn't been bothered by the prospect, or at least hadn't said anything. I hope he could find me, she thought. Suddenly, a lightning bolt flashed down to the sky to her left. It was from the south. There was no clouds in the sky. Smiling, Dash slowed down to the ground, pulling up a swirl of wind that scattered a pile of dead wood Applejack and Rarity had been gathering. He's coming! She cried excitedly. He's coming! He's coming! He sees me! What the? Rarity remarked, using her magic to pick up wood once more. So what do you think? Well, he's kind of weird, the Sky Blue Pegasus said, just down on the ground. He's super nice and really polite. He talks funny, kind of like you, Rarity. Pardon me, the unicorn said primly, but I do not talk funny. I speak as though this is a lady of distinction. Yeah, that's what I meant. He talks kind of like that, only it's not really the same. Rarity sighed. I hope he is as blunt as you say. I would certainly appreciate some courtesy when... Good morning, everyone! A voice cried brightly from behind Rarity. Before anybody could blink, Niles Niceless was in their midst. Why do I want this guy to be voiced by Matt Smith? Hello, hello, hello. Hello there, Rainbow Dash. And these must be your friends. I was like a Rarity stared wide-eyed at the pronghorn. Lithe and lean and built for speed. Dash grinned. Hi there, Niles. Yeah, these are the two friends I was telling you about last night. That's Applejack and that's Rarity. Niles blew his head, lowering his head. I am Niles Nigerius, messenger of the Pronghorn Network. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. Rarity regained her composure and lowered her head. Good evening, sir. It is a pleasure to meet you. Niles approached her. He gently extended a front leg, cupping a foreleg around Rarity's own front hoof. He raised it, lowered his head, and kissed it softly. It is a supreme delight to make the acquaintance of so charming and polite a unicorn. Among a type of ponies known for the grace of poise, you are truly distinct. Rarity angled her head and fluttered her eyelash. Thank you, good sir. You flatter me. I didn't know I was in the presence of a gentlecoat. I'm not much of a coat, I'm afraid, Niles said, lowering her hoof. But nice to meet you with your approval is high praise indeed. He turned towards Applejack, and watched her grin with some apprehension. He smiled. I take no kisses for you, my dear. Applejack took her high and inclined her head. You know something like, sir? You can kiss me. I've got no great none of it. A simple hello is fine by me. Well, hello. It's very nice to meet you. You as well, sir, Applejack said. Mine needs to be some grease or so standing. It comes with the job, dear Applejack, Niles said. Sure. really put in some pronghorns from into fall. Good models are essential for the messenger. It gains us access to relative destinations and wins us favor with hesitant recipients. Not to mention it saves us from the awful bad news. My word, Verity said. Does not happen often. With a smile and a how do you do, not as much, the pronghorn said. I'm sorry you've had the accent. Don't suit the messenger. Well, the scene came to be for a reason. I guess you guys have to be pretty careful, Des said. She was trying all her might to keep calm and be polite, but inside she was burning. She had to know. So, did you have a nice trip? Here? It wasn't far at all. It's going nice and cool, too. Very good evening, father. He looked into her rose eyes. Oh, yes. His face grew solemn. Maybe das. I could consulted two of my colleagues. Yeah, Dad said with a forced smile on her face. Between the three of us, we have decided. Dad almost flinched, bracing for the worst. But we are willing to give you a try at learning our magic. Scalable places his brain froze for a moment. She ultimately regained herself. So you teach me? To let me learn? He smiled stretched across her mouth from ear to ear. Whether you learn is ultimately up to you, but we all willing to teach you. Woohoo! Des yelled, sitting off the ground. She did several loop-de-loops in the air, sprawling cartwheels around. Please, I'm gonna do it! Thank you very much, Verity said to Niles. This really does mean a great deal to her. I can see that, Niles said, watching the Pegasus' acrobatics. All right, this is awesome! Des exclaimed, landing on the ground with some of her hosts. So, where can we go? Can we go now? I want to get started right now. Hold up, Rainbow, Applejack said. We haven't had dinner yet. You can at least wait until after that. That's a good idea, Niles said. The business could take some time, and I wouldn't do for you to get hungry in the middle of it. Oh, Des grumbled, crossing her hose across her chest. But I want to go now. Busines, Niles said gently. Be calm. He closed his eyes. Breathe. Opened his eyes again. Ness lowered her eyelids and raised in uncertainty. Okay. Would you like to join us for dinner, Mr. Nigerius? Verity said. We would be most grateful for your company. Niles grinned. I don't see why not. Provided I won't be eating some other creature's food. The air's flowing to go around, Applejack said. We got apples, carrots, potatoes, bread. And there's always lots of grass around. Actually, we're just going to build a fire. She motioned towards the pile of wood that she and Rarity had collected. It was a small pit that dug close to the base of an oak tree. Oh, wonderful, Niles said. Will you be doing any gritting? I don't think so, Applejack said. I've had grilled apples before. So have I. This all day. I've had them before at La Puta. Nice hot and warm. Oh, sir, I love them too, Applejack said brightly. I love to make apple pies make a sweet up like summer nuts. But I thought bring now to come with. Oh, for goodness sake, Applejack, Verity remarked. You know I could cut them with plastic, correct? You are a point. It's for girl. I also wasn't real sure you have that fat control. Well, if you're asking me to dice them, that's one thing, Dwight Unicorn said. Her horns shimmered, and Applejack's saddlebags were thrown open. But if it's a matter of spitting them down the middle. There was a rustling to the saddlebags, and Rarity narrowed her eyes in concentration. 4 apples were lifted from the right bag after more searching, setting 3 of them on the ground. Rarity levitated one of them right in front of her as she focused on it. Her blue eyes fixed on the shiny red skin. Her horn began to shine brighter, her brow furrowed in concentration. There was a soft tearing sound, then a sharp rip. The apple split into 2. White, juicy white flesh glistening on both halves. Peace, I said. Allow me. A shimmering field enveloped both his horns. The 3 remaining apples rose off the ground. He flexed his dark eyes upon them, inclining his head gently. There was another sharp rip, and one of the apples split down the middle. With a third rip, the second one split. I'll take the last one, Rarity said, not wanting to be shown up too badly. She wrapped her magic around the last apple intact. Naz released his own hold, and she once again bent her will upon the throat. She was more prepared this time, and so a little further upward, the apple split down the middle. Hey, this'll be a nice taste of home, Applejack said brightly. We are willing to keep him flowing, leave a grill right over the fire. Now I just need to get the fire started. Well, I can take care of that as well, Niles said, stepping over the pile of logs. With a crackle, sparks began to race up and down his horns. A A bright white line rose in between them, and a lightning bolt shot through the air. Alzek braced herself for the bolt to blast the log apart. With a crackling blaze of energy, he coiled himself around the logs, wrapping himself in his white-hot radiance. The logs were quickly smoking, and soon the fire sprouted, enveloping the dry tinder. As briskly as it appeared, the lightning vanished. Raymond Desk could barely contain her excitement. "That was so cool," she exclaimed. "You're right handy to have around, Mr. Natchelius," Alzek remarked. "Please," he said, "call me Knox." "Well then, if you're worried you'll get these apples grilled, I'll step out of this here armor and get the rest of the provisions," Alzek said, sitting down and beginning to undo the straps of her champion. Niles glanced curiously at her, as he floated his 4 apple house over the roaring flames. "That almost from Godsdale, isn't it?" Alzek said. "Yours belonged to Dora the Lord Dale." "My word!" Pronghorn exclaimed. "However did you come to have it?" "Prince Asdale himself gave it to her, as a reward for solving Glidedale's Kaminga problem." Alzek said in place of rarity. She rotated the 4 apple house she controlled over the fire beside him. 4 apple house wallowed. Now it's rarely his magic. "Sold? What do you mean, sold?" "Oh, it was so cool," Death said, scooting closer to the fire. "See, apparently for like hundreds of years, the Dale's ponies have been killing the Kamungas when they came across them. Because that's what they thought they had to do, right?" "I ain't familiar with that." "Yeah, well, see, Applejack figured out the Kamungas don't really want to attack any pony at all. They're just scared and snapping when they run across Glidedale. So she made 3 lassos, and she, Rarity, and I all went out and chased strikes at a huge Kamunga herd. We herded them, just like you herd stampeding cows." "My word!" Knives cried again. I never would have dreamed of such a thing. Not a single one was killed." "No, well," Applejack said with pride. She unfastened the straps of one of her leather greaves. "It was mad shocking to the Dale ponies, too. I'll say," Niles said. "To hear that the Kamungas aren't all aggressive. It goes against everything the Dale ponies ever told me. They're like centuries of tradition like that. How did Lord Hammerhoof take it?" "It was a real deal to call bad," the reserve pony said. "A man goes wrong in everything. He gave us a free passage across Glidedale. Sit now and whenever we want." "Well, for holding a feat like that, I get him out to sit," the pronghorn said. "You 3 are quite the ponies. To come all this way and still have the strength to do so, which is remarkable." "All in a days. Oh! This is my fine reminder. Tails, we need your help." "We? Your friends don't want to learn about lightning too, do they?" "No, I mean we need your speed." "Yes, please," Rarity said. "We need you to help our friend Twilight Sparkle." "The one who's sick, right?" Niles asked. "Remember Dad's mentioned you were going to the Ockback Mountains to find a pen of violet." "Our friend's in powerful need of it, too," Applejack said, sliding the crumpers from her hindquarters. Finally, Bear, she flipped her hat back onto her head and trotted over to the fire. "She has horn rot, a real big case of it. Our sleeping friend says he only has about 2 weeks. That was more than a week ago." "You have a sleeper friend," Niles repeated. "A sleeper living this far from Zabryka is a story in itself. I wonder if—" He paused. "Not blunt, but 2 weeks. That's outrageously fast for horn rot. My species gets it from time to time, but the problematic we use is to be expected. But it moves so slowly, you usually take about a month to cripple or kid us. But your friend's horn rot to be moving so quickly, and need a great deal of eternal magic to feed it. Is your friend a particularly powerful magician?" "Oh, absolutely," Rarity said. "She's an incredible sorceress. I never met a unicorn who had her skill or power, except in Princess Celestia, of course." "That would explain it," Niles said. "That's the rub about Hornmont. The more powerful you are, the more deadly the disease is for you. If you got weak magic or don't use magic often, it could be years long ordeal without doing you harm. A bison can live with Hornmont. On the other hand, if you got big horns and lots of power, it eats you alive. I've known kudu that got it. Barely last week, poor blightus." He nodded his head. "What's a kudu?" Dash asked. "It's oh, oh, apples are done." Niles broke off, knowing the way the apple slices were steaming and sizzling. He had rarely used their magic to levitate them away from the fire. The smell wafting away through the air was indeed delicious. "Hold on," Abstract said, rustling through her saddlebags. She yanked out the top and folded parsley down. "Sit down here." Niles and Rarity complied. gently the apple slices skin down on the wax cotton surface. Her dad's pulled a loaf of bread and some carrots, setting them beside the apples. Now this is a meal, described Blue Pig with a sour grin. Not every day I get hot food, Niles remarked. Well, dig it, everybody, Air Pronghorn, Abstract said, sitting down on a tarp. Sorry about that, Niles. I just learned the secret, sir, he said, settling back on his haunches. It's the most convenient castle, too. So, you were saying, Dad said, about the kudu? Oh, kudu. They're antelopes. They're big antelopes. Great massive beasts with big shoulders and great muscles. Niles raised his front hooves and intimidated his size. Their coats are slate grey, and their eyes are almost an orange red that smolders in the dark. They have massive corkscrew horns rising high off their heads. They are powerful magicians, and most of them are famously short-tempered. It doesn't help that their specialty is fire magic. When it's time for the magic course to choose a new king's huntsman, they twist as a fire for leagues all around in displays of power. The really great ones can even summon fire elementals to do their bidding. This fanfic had a lot of influence on Fall, didn't it? Well, Death said, must be amazing to see. You sound like you've seen a great deal in your travels, Master Niles, Rarity said. Do I? Niles asked her. He chuckled softly. I suppose I do. My, what have I seen? His eyes half closed. I have seen the crumbling obsidian castles where the lord of all the herds plotted in steam. I have sat at the great bonfires, watched the zebras and giraffes dance around the flames to summon the ghosts of their ancestors. I have snatched a wayward puzzle from the grass of a slimy copper at the waterfall in the silent forest. I have wandered through enormous cities where the streets are paved with gold. I have stood upon the polar ice and watched the narwhals join their hordes to summon the great aurora. Narwhals, narwhals, swimming in the ocean because they are so awesome. That was random. The 3 points were enraptured. Golly, Abstract whispered. Sure makes Little Pony feel stand small. The pronghorn smiled down. Don't think yourselves on the point, he said. The world would be a much poorer place if not for Equestria and its ponyfolk. Your land is a fount of life, a source of energy from which all the world draws. The world needs Equestria. Of course, there's only one sun and one moon, and they can both live in Equestria. He used his magic to levitate a slice of apple to his mouth. He took a careful bite. Delicious. We spent along for tea. Oh my, yes, Verity remarked, tearing off a chunk of bread. A good black tea would go delightfully with these strong flavors. You know who makes a great tea? He said nonchalantly. Nagas. Great ivory serpent gods with golden fangs. You could sing forever when you look into their eyes. Really kind of terrifying. But they serve you the most delicious red Tai tea. Huh, that's kind of cool, I guess. Hold on a second, Applejack interjected. We got way off our original point. The thing is, Niles, Twilight needs to bend about as soon as possible. We're at least 2 or 3 days from the Arkback Mountains. Find the trip to the Silverwoods quick, ain't it? I'm wondering if I could get it for you, the pronghorn said. Geez, we're desperate, as he said. Niles said, taking up by a carrot. He chewed it thoughtfully, slowly. He swallowed. Our first duty as messengers of the Pronghorn Network is to the rulers of nations. They are the ones that make the decision to go to war, which is what we strive to prevent above all else. We must always be on call to receive messages that they wish for us to send. Their needs must be prioritized above anyone else's. Oh, Abstract said, her ears flattening. Now's dark eyes wavered. But, if I can find the time, I don't see why not. Really? Earnshaw Plain exclaimed. Oh, thank you, sir, Verity exclaimed. Don't thank me yet, Niles said. I can only get the benefit for you if no messenger duties demand my attention. Even if I'm available, getting to the Arkback Mountains is a different matter than finding a benefit there. You've been all over the world and seen all sorts of stuff. I'm sure finding a benefit wouldn't be that hard, Dad said. I suppose you're right, said Niles. He glanced up at the sky, where the stars were appearing in the vast darkness. The light is getting on, though. We best finish up our dinner. I'm not sure how long Rainbow Dash's instruction is going to take. Not understanding, the three ponies focused on their meal, passing small talk between themselves and the pronghorn. In a short while, the food was gone. Dad addressed our host, quivering excitement. So? She asked, trying to keep giddiness out of her voice. Can we go now? Is it time? Niles closed his eyes. He breathed in slowly, then breathed out. Yes, I think it's time. If you will follow me, he stood, turned to Rarity and Applejack. I will try to have her back by morning. I wish you wouldn't be up all night, Applejack said. Still got a good ways to go in the morning. Trust me, she won't be tired. He smiled. It was a pleasure meeting you, Miss Applejack. Niles extended a front hoof, raising Applejack's own foreleg. He kissed her front hoof gently. You said you didn't need it, but I think every female should feel like a lady from time to time. Applejack blushed. Ah, shucks, sugar cream bits. Well, thank you kindly. It was great to make your acquaintance. Now it's turned to Rarity. Mother Rarity, your company was delightful. Thank you for sharing your food and your time with me. Rarity bowed her head. The present was out of market, said Niles. Do try to take care of our rainbow dads. Look, I shall do better than that. All right, come on, let's get going! Dash cried, fluttering impatiently in the air behind Niles. Chuckling, the pronghorn turned towards her. Very well then, I'll take you to our way station. Follow me. Bye, E.T. Bye, Ernie. When I get back, I'll be lightning powered. Red Pegasus said. The pronghorn turned towards the staff and pumped his legs, soaring almost instantly. In the blink of an eye, he vanished, the grass beyond the oak tree parting dramatically in his wake. Rarity flapped her wings and soared after him. And so in very short order, two of them were long gone. I so do hope that he knows what she's doing, Rarity said. I'm not sure that Philly ever knows what she's doing, Applejack remarked, picking her tarp up and shaking it at the breadcrumbs. No, I wouldn't say that. Val seems to be in control of herself most of the time. But I wonder if her enthusiasm hasn't blinded her to the risks she could be taking. What if she gets hurt? Lightning has to be pretty dangerous, Applejack agreed. Rainbow sold herself. How exactly are these pronghorns going to teach her to use it? She gonna get shocked or something? I hope they don't hurt her, Rarity said again. She raised her head and blinked. Why is it that whenever the two of us talk, we're learning about something? No, no, Applejack murmured, holding up her target, carrying it to her saddlebags. It might be because worrying is what we do for a living. You have your dress up, I got my farm. It's part of our jobs to worry.